Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Nigga Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
Welcome back to another Best Ball lunch break. That's right, we're doing DraftKings today. Normally we'll do this on Tuesdays, this week mix it up a little bit, but really excited to be doing. We're going to be doing all formats. Meg's going to do more drafters. I'll do some, I'm sure, as well. But I want to get into the DK streets as well. They've been running a lot of great promos all throughout. Hopefully people have been taking advantage of still doing those, and particularly good if you play multiple sports. Like there was ones last week, you do a milli, you get a $5 MLB ticket, a $5 golf ticket, etc. Things are fun on the DraftKings side. I mean, there's it's also can be the Wild West at times in the best ball streets there. So let me hit up chat, then we'll get into a draft. We got Mike in here. Good to see you, DK, Steve, King QC. These DraftKings streets are wild. Yeah, like I said, absolute Wild West. Meg is checking in. We got Huhames in here. Good to see you. Jeremy, let's go. I want in this draft. All right, we'll get started in a second. Disbanded with the dot. We got Spunky Spectrum. I saw Pickens go at the 101 and Allen at the 105 and CD fall to 2. Okay, that might be the same guy who's drafting with us on Underdog yesterday, who's just all about Dallas. We got Crossface in here. Yo, Steve finishing this burger and root beer. That sounds like a good lunch. Disbanded forever. Yep. I accidentally entered 2 stream drafts today out of 3 drafts. Oh, geez. That'll do it. All right, let's get in. Let's first look at the contest, of course, especially this being our first time playing it. And I will say, before I get into the main one, DraftKings has this big $3 contest, just 20 max. It's a massive contest, but it is starting to fill. They're running some promos. They've been running some promos for it. They have this $59 contest, which, for a higher dollar is pretty good. Let's look at the $3 first. The prize payouts, top 2 advance. Then second round, 1 advance, 458. So definitely not as good as, say, the puppy in terms of advancement. But the prize payouts, DraftKings would do it a little differently. Not only advance do you get your money back, you usually get a little bit more. So if you advance, you get $5. So an entry and 2/3 of one. You get second in that 12 person pod, you get $10. And then of course, top 1 advances, you get to round 3. Again, round 3, 15, $15, $30 for second place. And then finally in the finals, it's 100K up top. A lot of big prizes up top. The min prize is 150. So it's, you would not, max if this was a 150, but it's only a 20 max. So you actually do, more than double your money. So that's nice at being only a 20 max. And, so I'm definitely a fan. Like I highly recommend this, even though the advance rates aren't as great as some tournaments and even some tournaments on DraftKings, which we'll talk about. I think for 20 max, this is very well done, reasonably done. And I like that, I know not everyone likes it, but I like getting a little bit more just to make the playoffs, getting a little, chance to finish second in the quarterfinals and make even more money. Like I think those are positive things that they do, and consequently, and we'll look at the $7 in a second. The strong side, $59, so a little bit higher. Tournament, of course, but first round, top 2 advance. Round 2 advance, round 3, 1 advances out of 12. So again, it's better to start, but boy, you get to round 4, it's a 22-person pod. And let's look how it gets broken down. So you can multi-enter 150. I don't really think many people are multi-entering in this 150. So I would judge by, how many entries you're going to do. So this 3 of 12, you get 90. So it's not just getting your money back. You don't double it, but you get, a solid return for every entry that you get to the playoffs. You get to the third round, $300 minimum. And then the final round, 100K up top, 22 entry, min prize 3,000. So you can do quite a few entries, and these lucky final teams to 22, you will make your money back and then some. So definitely that's strong for a higher dollar. And then this like $7, I believe all 3 of these tutties, started running them last year, did a bunch of them. And they continue to be putting them out. So 2 of 12 advance, 2 of 12 advance in the second round, 1 of 10, and then a 14-person final, $7. It's a 5 max, so it's $35 to enter. And this one you get only slightly above the entry fee to make the quarterfinals. But if you make semifinals, you get your money back. That's what I like about this tournament. That you have 5 entries, you get 1 through to just to semifinals, you made your money back. And of course, if you get to finals, a 14-person final, 5K up top. So it's not some massive, 5-figure prize or 6-figure prize, of course, but boy, $500 min prize to make finals. I think this is a good tournament. They, right now they have 3 of them out. I'm sure they're going to keep running these, but it's one of those like you do this and you just need. It's almost in some ways it's kind of like their flock, except far better advance rates and far better ROI. But it's like you do one of the each one is small, but what's nice about this is if you do all 5 of, let's say they have 5 of them and you max all of them, you're still going to profit by just getting 1 entry to the finals in one of them. And then we won't look at, let's look at the Monster Millionaire, just because sometimes they run, they'll run qualifiers for this and sometimes give out tickets if you're a real big DraftKings player. This is their flagship high dollar, and then they have the luxury box. 2 of 12 to advance in the first round. This I wish they would take the cue from Underdog and like the real high dollar stuff, do like 3 or 4 of 12. Other than that though, 2 of 8, 1 of 8, 52-person final. Again, as you go down the list, you advance, you're getting, like an entry and a half back. You make it to semis, you get 2,000. And of course, you get to finals, you have a shot for $1 million out of 52 and a bare minimum of 10K. So, definitely not for everyone, and, pick your spots, but that is a fun small field chance for a milli. Speaking of milli though, is their big flagship tournament. They did bump the price up. They, increased their prize pool with that. And the other thing I should mention is, actually, before I get into it, is the other thing, if you are going to max, DraftKings, not only have they been doing these promos, but they, where is it? If you max, you get a certain amount back. I believe that's still the case. Yes, earn DK dollars with best ball drafts. Here we go. So it used to be very, very easily put out there, but you can earn up to 375 DK dollars if you max this contest. So that's a nice return as well that you get. Just something to keep in mind. All right, let's go back to the actual tournament. We will get into it or look over it, and then all right, come on. And then we will start drafting these. So just to finalize looking at this, advancing, what's again nice about this is it's not just your money back. You get 40, you get your second or third, because it is only 1 of 12 to advance in these next 2 rounds. You double your money. And then the same in the semifinals, 125 to make semifinals, 150 if you're second or third, and then you're advancing. It is 1,000-person finals, but there are $3 million prizes out there, a $500K, a $400K, $300K. I mean, we're talking the fact that there are 10 prizes of 150 or more, 15 prizes totaling of 100K or more. That's a pretty big prize pool. Min, you do not get all your money back, and so that is something to keep in mind. So I know that's not for everyone. What is again nice though is if you factor in the 375 that you get, the fact that there are so many promos out there right now. Even your first entry is buy one get one. So nobody actually will spend 150 times 25, the 3750 like it is for Underdog to max this contest. Now, if that's the only promo you do, it's not much, but there's obviously a lot of promos out there that you're not going to spend that $37.50. So let's jump into it. I don't have my rankings up yet for DraftKings. Those will be coming shortly. We're working on a few other little projects first. So we're going to do a fast draft here. I will count it down. I will enter in 10 seconds, and in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. All right, so 7 of 12, a couple spots available. We got I'm Huckleberry in here. Lunchtime Popeyes and drafts. Nice. Steve guys made tickets since DK Balance's tire is driving the past 3 years. Yeah, no, that give back is nice. Gets me started on the it was 300 last year, but they bumped it up this year because they bumped up the price. Did this? Sometimes the screen doesn't refresh. It should. Okay, wait on one more. Got Jamie in here. You need to use some of those DK crowns to tell your sister's banger golf lineups these next 2 weeks. All right, we will do that. So these are the slows, which I do. I will say I do like DraftKings for that. Like it's easy to do a fast on your computer, especially, and just check in on slows pretty easily. We will go to the draft board. Here, I got the 10th pick. Spunky is in here. The icon, that should be Jeremy, is in here. We got Sweetleaf in the 1 hole. So this is fun. Got some people in here. Let me know if anyone else got in this draft. I don't recognize any names, but I know sometimes people have different names on different sites and stuff like that. So draft starts in 1 minute. For those of you who are less familiar with DraftKings, it is full point PPR. You do get bonuses for 100 yards rushing, receiving. You get 3 points each week that occurs, and for 300 yards passing, you get 3 points as well. The rest of the scoring, I think, is the same. There might be a difference in how fumbles are scored, but overall, it's very much the same positions. It is 20-round format, so that's the only difference from main Underdog in terms of like the structure. So for me, because it is full point PPR, I do lean into more pass catching guys, and Now, this is not to say I totally ignore running backs. I think zero RB is more acceptable and easier to do on DraftKings, but it's also more acceptable just because there's a number of backs who, like, we are drafting the Kenneth Gainwells and Rashard Whites and those types of guys as is on Underdog, but they just carry far more value on this site, like Woody Marks, even Tyrone Tracy, but then also like the dual threat backs. Like right now, there's not a big gap between Scadaboo and Judkins. Like there should be a massive gap on DraftKings because Scadaboo has that pass catching ability, to say nothing of, the better offense and all that. Does this mean Derrick Henry is like totally nuked? No, of course not. He gets 16 touchdowns. He rushes for 1,500 yards. These types of things, he's going to be fine. But backs who do both are more valuable. So kind of normal with an Underdog. Gibbs, Bijan, Chase. I think those are, my top three guys for sure as well. I think there is a very defensible case about Chase being the 101, but honestly, it's any of those three work totally fine. I kind of think on DraftKings, those three are a tier above themselves. Good to see, Pat. Yeah, Meg handles that. Made BBM finals last year, but somehow missed DK finals. Nice, Jeremy. Well, this year gotta hit both. You see the McCaffrey pull up here. Obviously makes so much sense. I mean, the guy, his receiving numbers are on par with way too many receivers in this league. To say nothing of what he's adding on the ground as well. Go Liam. I'll stick here and then go back to the board. So it is 30-second clocks. That same drafter still has 30-second clocks, but that other than that, it's very similar to Underdog. Ooh, nice. UD promos coming soon. Rumor from a trusted source. Appreciate that. Looking forward to those. All right. So I think Barkley or Walker are great here. I will go Walker. Trey McBride, like here's the tough thing. Like he did, have just such a monster year, but we've talked about before. Not only do I think his touchdowns are taking a hit, but it's just his total volume. His receptions are not going to be the same. His chance for 100 yards are just not going to be the same. And very few tight ends have a 100-yard bonus chance, like legitimately. And I just, not to say that McBride won't have a single 100-yard game this coming year, but I think it's going to be fewer and fewer far between. I just think that price is way too high. Especially, and this is the other thing on DraftKings, because it's full point PPR, because of the 100-yard bonus, even the best tight ends are only going to hit that 2-3 times max. Your top receivers, your top running backs are hitting that 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So your scoring is less and less from the tight end position than it is on underdog. So I do think tight ends in general take a hit. Like Bowers, I'm okay kind of drafting early. Loveland, Warren, even I'm even more mid to late round tight end on DraftKings than underdog for that reason, because you can't just be saved by touchdowns. Yeah, that's just not gonna bail you out. That is very good. Fantasy dog pouncing looks good. And speaking of, as you can see, Best Ball overlay, the new update is launched. Next time I'm streaming, I will be need to get that downloaded and ready to go. It looks amazing. Pat and his team are just doing such a great job with that. It's, to me, the best tool out there. You can use code Fanspeak to get 25% off. I know Meg and I are both big fans. It's a great, at the barest minimum, a portfolio tracker. And beyond that, just helps with ease of understanding buys, team correlations, stacks, all that kind of stuff. So really, really excited for it. And I just think it's such a great tool for underdog. Steve, did you have any DK sweats last year? I didn't make any finals last year. I had a couple semifinals, but no finals. That's the first year in about 4 years I've not had a DK finals. Most of them have been like the $3 tournaments. 2 years ago, I had 3 DK finals, and 2 were the $10 chain movers, which was nice because that's a smaller field final, and then one $3 tournament. GM Steve on the DK streets. Absolutely, Aiden. Your draft quote today was no Washington players and Scatafoo. King QC's in the 6th spot. Oh, nice. Appreciate letting us know. Nice, heavy running back start. I'm 1-1 so far. I said like some more running backs are more viable, deeper. I do think you still want to have strong running backs. I mean, we just see this is what the NFL is right now. I think I'll go Kyron. I think you could make a case A-Chain is higher upside, though I do think Kamara will eat into his passing role a little bit more here. He hasn't had a ton of competition for that in Jacksonville with guys like Bigsby, Tootin. Quinn Allen has been his best passing game competition, in his time in Jacksonville. So that changes a bit with Kamara. I still like him. I still think there's obviously paths where he does that quite a bit, but Kyron, I think, is just a little safer in the better offense. Could get both. I think, though, I'm going to go DJ Moore. So just a guy who went from such a spread out offense last year. Now he should, he's a real chance to be the alpha, the number one, with one of the best quarterbacks in the game. So his chance for 100-yard bonuses, I think, are pretty high. Oh yeah, they've really really cut down their rewards. There's no question there. Yes, no, and this is the like FK is absolutely right here. Like different wide receiver pro, like on underdog, as Mike knows. Like I will knock Zay Flowers because of his price point. He needs to run so pure touchdowns to pay off. On full point PPR, he's so much better. He only gets a couple 100-yard game. 2 years ago, I think he had 5. Last year, I think he had 3, maybe. But his 100-yard game equity, I think, is above average to maybe good. But his PPR value is huge. Like, he can get you 20 points without gaining a touchdown. And honestly, he can get you 20 points without even hitting the 100-yard bonus. But he has no chance of that on underdog. Like, he needs a touchdown. And there's a number of receivers like that who, even later, the Wandales, the Shakirs, those types of guys. I think Garrett Wilson's better in this format because Garrett Wilson, his career high touchdowns is 7. That was 2 years ago with Aaron Rodgers. But we know he can just rack up 10 catches for 120 yards. And that's a really good game on DraftKings. On underdog, that's still kind of like, barely, good, but not great. So yeah, like these, guys who are more PPR focused, and that's why we see Rashee Rice pulled up here. I don't know if I fully agree with that, just because I do think people are not understanding the level of competition difference. I know that assumes Xavier Worthy staying healthy, but it is interesting. People consider one to be a bust and one to be great. And I think they're probably much more likely to be closer to one another. But yeah, like Ladd McConkey could just totally rack out the catches this year in this new offense. Number of these receivers that we're going to be taking shortly also. Why is your photo not the Fanspeak logo, or do you only change it when you bank for the clout? Trevion is like ADP. Oh yeah. No, pass catching backs like that who can get pulled up, do more in the passing game, particularly, and also like Trevion, because of his explosive run style. Like when he hits, he has that 120-yard 2-touchdown game. Well, then you're also getting extra 3 points on top as well. So, to say nothing of the passing game side of it. Don't get me started on that. So speaking of, Henderson or Swift was my target. I think either is fantastic. I know I have 3 running backs now, but I think Henderson can be hitting my flex quite a bit. Either one of those backs. Receiver, I honestly think is deeper still here. While I'm more likely to have it hit the flex, it's just one of those that I think you can still kind of wait a bit for some mid-tier receivers like Jacoby Myers, Wandale, like I said. These guys are just Chris Godwin, I think, is fantastic. Concepcion, Downs, Worthy. I mean, Shakir, Shaheed. Definitely not taking Tyreek Hill. That's a price that is totally wrong in this format. Because anything Hill does this year is probably is like a wide receiver 3 spike guy, 1 deep shot. I doubt we're going to see a ton of volume, a ton of 100-yard games. And honestly, we might not see anything at all. I'm going to take Drake May. I do think quarterback, particularly those who have dual threat ability and 300-yard bonus upside. I think that's something May really has this year, particularly if they do get A.J. Brown and just have more weapons and the tougher schedule. And at the same time, he can add those He had like 400 yards rushing and only a couple rushing touchdowns last year. Those numbers can go up considerably as well. So May to me just takes a leap. Like, for instance, somebody like Malik Willis doesn't have as much value on DraftKings because how often is he going to throw for 300 yards? And maybe we actually might see more 100-yard rushing games than 300-yard passing games. So to me, that bumps him down slightly. And where somebody like, Burrow, Herbert, Dak, these guys could have 5 to 8 300-yard games. Stafford, Goff, all these types of guys. And those are just, even if it's just 5, that's 15 points. It's almost a point per game that you're getting that a guy like Malik Willis probably just doesn't have in his bag. And so it also, like those like second tier quarterbacks, like the or third tier quarterbacks, however you want to find them, but in the Cam Wards, the Aaron Rodgers, the Genos, like they aren't going to hit 300 yards near as often. So, that's a bit of a knock on them. So going a little bit more like high volume quarterback, I think is a good play. I would admit I do like mixing up my quarterback exposure and builds for sure. But those, like, I don't think you can totally wait on quarterback as much in this format. Because even like the Shucks and honestly, even Kyler, though Kyler I think has some 300-yard equity in that offense with Kevin O'Connell. We've just seen it. Same with Sam Darnold. Like, I feel okay if their passing volume needs to go up because their defense took a step back and they don't, trust the running game near as much without Charbonnet and Walker. We've at least seen Sam Darnold throw a bunch of 300-yard games in the past. So I am a little behind at receiver, but I think I'll catch up. Like Mekhi Lemon, I'm not really high on him in underdog just because I think he is a, like this slot receiver who's not going to have a massive touchdown role. Here, though, much more interested. Jaden Reed, to me, so much more value over here. Not really taking Tucker Kraft, definitely not taking Fannin. Could go Mahomes. I think Mahomes is obviously very live for a bunch of 300-yard games. And I do Kenneth Walker, so I'm tempted there. Sutton goes, that would have been my pick. Even with 20 rounds, I don't mind going 2 tight end if I get 2 mid guys. I'm going to go Mahomes. Already have, I got both quarterbacks built out with a running back, a pass catching running back at that. And I just think there's a lot of volume potential with both those quarterbacks. So I'll make this pick and then I will get back to it. Don't mind Pollard. Definitely some receivers here. George Kittle. This price is way worse on this site. Because even if it is like Meg thinks, he's not a 100-yard guy. Like, he's got a couple in his career, but he is not a 100-yard. His value on underdog is touchdowns. I don't think you should be taking a guy like that in top 100, honestly, at all, even without the injury. Pollard goes, running backs getting thin, but I'm going to go Godwin here. could be a Giants running back picture. That's what Meg wants it to be. It'll be Tuesday most weeks kicks. So most Tuesdays I'll be doing it. I did it Wednesday this week because yesterday Underdog had released a couple of contests, so I wanted to talk about those. Yeah. And the other thing on Tuesday nights, like in the summer, like more when we get to June, Andrew's going to be doing a Tuesday night Underdog show, so it's also a good day to like hit both formats. Don't tempt me. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't think you do. Don't let her bully you. If you want to do DK on Wednesday, you do DK on Wednesday. Take the power back. Back implies that he had the first place. Just saying. Yeah. It's true. He's never changed default photo. We got GAB in here. DK is always soft as cotton. I can't disagree with that. We got C Money in here. Good to see you. So sad to see that electric of a player like Tyreek basically dead now. You know, I mean, I hope he can come back. It's just like this year, it ain't it. Like this is going to be even if he wants to continue playing his career, this is a rehab year. Like he might sign on somewhere just to get, to rehab. And yeah, maybe he comes in late in the year. And if so, it's like as a couple play a game type guy. I just don't think there's any fantasy value there. Even if he got like a great landing spot, like the Rams, like what's he doing? 5 snaps a game, 10 snaps a game tops. Every now and then he might hit your lineup because he gets like 2 big catches, but it's just so thin. Yeah, no, that is true. Even Jerry Rice got cut. Keep liking to get one of Hurts, McDaniel, Hurts, May, Caleb, and Daniels with my builds. Yeah, no, I think those quarterbacks that have some dual ability, but also some passing ability. Honestly, I think Caleb is very similar to what I was saying about May. Like we're just tying him to Ben Johnson. We know Ben Johnson hits history with passing, and we know Caleb has some rushing upside as well. No, this is the issue, Hartman, is with them drafting Concepcion in Boston. I don't think that's live anymore. I don't think he leads in targets. Don't think he leads in catches. He could lead in touchdowns. I mean, tight ends can definitely do that, but particularly in this format, that's less value now. But he had 700 yards last year, and I know Njoku was there and whatnot, but they have like legitimate NFL receivers now. Because I'm a big believer in both Concepcion and Boston, even as rookies, and they still have Judy there. So it's just, I just don't see any real path where he's like leading the team in anything outside of touchdowns, and even that to me is murky because they were very creative last year. That was Stefanski. I give him credit to get him some touchdown looks, and Todd Monken could be as well, but it's not like. He's not Mark Andrews. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not this he's not Sam Laporta. He's not this physical tight end demon. George Kittle. I think we go Ricky P here. Dubs, there's a stack. I do think Ricky P, Pittman should got a few other guys should be going before Dubs. So we'll see, maybe if it gets back to me. But now I'm at 2, 3, 4, 0. I will start to consider tight end, with this next pick. Kelce would be on the short list. It's a little, I like pushing tight end more to the, likely Ferg Andrews range. But tight end, we don't have the same tight end prices that we have on Underdog. That is unfortunate. People are a little bit, sharper on here, even though it's weird. Like, are they sharper or not? Because tight ends have less value, but they're not letting all the tight ends fall like they do on Underdog. Pittman, I like a lot. Downs, I like a lot in this format. there. I will Kelsey. I mean, he does have not really 100-yard bonus, but he can have pretty good volume. With having, if I didn't have Mahomes, I don't think I would take Kelsey there. I'll definitely have far more Kelsey on underdog than DraftKings. 3, Dak, Herbert, Murray, Love, Baker, Shuck, Stroud feel good. If I don't have 3 by Stroud, I'm not liking it. Yeah, Stroud's kind of the cutoff to me also, because I do think Stroud could, I know they want to run the ball. I get that, but they have the weapons. I think they have the offensive line. I think Stroud could, just see a few more 300-yard games this year. The one tough thing with him is that defense is so good. Got Mike in here. How's it goes? The grind's going good. We're doing good, C-Money. Just gonna rip a couple DraftKings drafts today. Meg and I will be back tomorrow night for Sibling Showdown, and then Meg has her Friends of Best Ball on Friday as well. 24 likes right now. Let's bump it up. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. Do you think Denzel's automatically the X in Cleveland? Or is Tillman beating Boston out for that role for both sides, or something? Boston might not even touch the field until later. I doubt. I mean, so Tillman 2 years ago was fun. He had a fun, a couple game sample. Then he got hurt, and it just wasn't good. I wish it was. It just wasn't good. And he was hurt last year, and it still wasn't good. So is there some natural talent there? Yeah, but he just can't stay healthy. It's a new staff. I think they took him, from a need standpoint. So I'm sure Tillman sees the field some, because like I said, I think he's an actual NFL receiver, not more so than the Isaiah Bonds and some of those other guys on the team where it's really, really thin proposition at this point. So I don't know if Boston will, particularly at the jump, fully have the X role, but I do think he is well positioned to grow into that role. And even early on, I don't see this as I know some people were maybe a little gun shy after the Jaden Higgins, Xavier Hutchinson thing. I do think some of the differences the Texans had something to contend for. You know what I mean? This team's gone to the playoffs, every year with Stroud. They have something to contend for. So even just that, 1 or 2 mistakes a game that a rookie could make, that's just unacceptable for a team like the Texans. Is that unacceptable to a team like the Browns? Probably not. I think that's the least of their worries about a receiver running the wrong route, or missing a block or something like that. So I guess that's how I look at it. You have these young pieces, and that includes Fannin and Judkins. Just roll with them, see what you got. So I mentioned before, let's go Rashard White. I do think he carries a lot more value on this type of site. These backs, even these secondary backs, who particularly there's not a strong, and honestly, I don't know what to do with the Jags, because Tootin doesn't profile as a pass catching back either. Chris Rodriguez, I just don't love his price here. I think he should go at least a round later. Because he's just not going to add any value there. And but these other situations like Gainwell or Rashard White, a couple others, I actually don't think Jalen Warren's in the same camp, because Rico Dowdle has been pretty decent catching the ball. But there's a few others. Woody Marks, I think, is fine. Yeah, let me actually go Daniel Jones. I don't have the stack, but I just trust the offense a little bit more. Get a third quarterback. I didn't feel like I needed a tight end with my Kelsey investment. But no, these running backs who have pass catch and roll, that's just a lot of extra points. Like if you have, 60 catches, that's 30 more points than it's worth on underdog. That's a lot. That's almost 2 points more per game. 9 tickets and 32,000 crowns is giving me anxiety. Steve is a hoarder. Oh, you should have seen me a couple of years ago. I had like over I had like 200k crowns a couple of years ago. So yeah, been a crazy couple weeks of work right now when BBM launched, of course, but glad to be back in the streets. Nice ball. Remember the DK's DK didn't have a draft board. Oh yeah, that was. I think that the last 3 years. It's been 3 years now. I think they've had a draft board, maybe 4. But yeah, the first couple of years it was. It's interesting, which also made it like impossible to stream. Not impossible, but just not the same. So yeah, coming up here, I think I can maybe push tight end a little bit more. I think it depends if I want to go 2 or not. Probably need to get one in these next 2 picks if I'm only going to go 2. Sweet Leaf sitting at a 3.352. We have King in here, 2.451. Jeremy just across the board, 3s. Taking likely there as this third tight end. And Spunky at 2.451. I'm 3.441. Love it. Absolutely love it, Paul. Just center 25 slows, gone to the dark side. Well, usually what I'll do is a lot of times I do 5 at a time and then even let it take a little break. Even if I'm going to do like 25 in a day, let it take a little break. So I'm not with the same people for all 25 drafts. Hold on, let me see here. I think I'm going to go Hunter Henry, probably stop at 2 tight end here. I did that yesterday. I entered some puppies and I did 2. I think I only did 10. I think 10. I did 5 and then waited like an hour and did 5 more. So in the hopes that I wouldn't be in like 9 drafts with one guy, unless it's the guy who did that Detroit Dallas crazy stack yesterday. So that's typically how I'll do it, but it all depends. Like, also like sometimes I'm entering a bunch of slows in different contests because I also did like 5 in the super flex as well. And of course that isn't the same factor. So we're going to pull up Diggs here. He lands anywhere. I think he can easily outplay this, especially in like a PPR format. Can be very strong. All right. Let me go back to the board. Little run on receiver here. So like Kamara goes up way higher in this, which he should. Can't remember if that's his ADP or not, but he definitely should because his pass catching role take to me Kamara over even if we're right and Pacheco is like the short yardage guy for Detroit could get like 6 to 8 touchdowns, something like that. He's not likely to have the passing role that Montgomery had. So, like, to me, give me Kamara. I just think he's way better. Spears was somebody I was considering here over Diggs. Just felt I need a little bit more receiver upside. But Spears also likely the same thing. I mean, they drafted Singleton, and he's probably coming for Spears' job next year. Yeah, but I just don't know if he's really going to be a threat this year. So I think Spears is a pretty fine click. What would be your perfect stacks? Like, are you talking like in terms of value, or top end stacks? If like the Rams and the Bengals, I mean, those stacks, the Cowboys, those to me are some of the best. But I think there are some like better value stacks out there where you're not having to pay too much. Like to me, I think for instance, the first round receiver that I think is the best value stack is Amon-Ra. Yeah, this guy is top 5 wide receiver every year. Jared Goff, throws for 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, and you don't pay a massive price for Goff. So I'd consider that to be a better value stack among the first round wide receivers. And like Jefferson, Murray is good. I think better on underdog, but good. And the other thing with Chase and Puka and even Lamb is they do have a true, like, an alpha type number 2 receiver. Amon-Ra has a good number 2 receiver in JMO, but I don't think there's any real threat there. Some, and again, not sure if you're talking just for in general or more DK specific. Like for me on underdog, I think the Lamar Andrews stack is a great value because I think Lamar goes a little later than he should. I think Andrews goes well later than he should. And of course, touchdowns matter there quite a bit. In terms of total value, it is what Meg preaches. The Steelers, DK and Pittman just go way too late in every format, in every draft. I have no idea why. DK was still really good last year, and that was in an Arthur Smith offense. Pittman was really good last year. They're together, but they're now in an offense that should throw the ball a lot more. They're with a quarterback, presumably Aaron Rodgers, who can throw the ball quite a bit. And that's probably the best value stack out there. So yeah, we're going to go Boston here. I think for getting a fall on him, I don't love the offense, but I do think there's a real path for him to be a good receiver, a starting receiver. And he is my 6th receiver. Yeah. So we'll see what I get in a couple picks. I think I'm done at tight end. Tight end does dry up a bit. There's still some out there. Helm, Freiermuth, obviously. Dulcich, Gesicki if you need to, but I'll probably stop at 2 tight end here. Add an extra receiver. Obviously need more running back as well, which is 4 right now. And now this is at the point later where, yes, passing work matters, but still, like the Sean Tuckers, the Ray Davises, Ollie Gordons, those guys still carry quite a bit of value, this late in the draft. So I'm not going to dock them so much, even if they don't have as big of a passing role. So receiver-wise, Antonio Williams is very interesting, but I just think you can get some receivers later. Running back does thin out to me. Emma Johnson, I think I take the handcuff here. I have Kenneth Walker. I'm making a Chiefs bet if Kenneth Walker will miss time or, God forbid, get seriously injured. Emma Johnson gives me a really nice handcuff option and keeps that like Mahomes, Kelsey running back stack fully alive. Normally, I probably would have chosen another running back there, but I thought the handcuff made sense. What is your strategy with getting third quarterback? Kansas City. Yeah, basically that round. These. Now Aaron Rodgers still goes a little late, and I think he's fine as a third quarterback, but I don't think him and Geno and even Brissett, like Brissett's not throwing the ball 40 times a game, so his 300-yard games are just not going to be there this year. If he is starting, and if he is playing a full year. So yeah, I mean, kind of by round 13, I'm trying to get my third quarterback. I think Geno's fine later. I think Rodgers is fine later. In a 20-round format, if somebody were to do like the Mendoza and Cousins to fully get, go 4 quarterbacks, I think we were doing this little in the big board. It's not a terrible call out to do. I don't know how much I love Mendoza on his own right now, just because I think it is pretty murky. And they have Genty, didn't have Bowers. Just curious if there was more of a stack going on there. But no, I kind of think by round 13, you kind of get, Young, Ward, and Stroud are kind of in this 12-13 range. Daniel Jones as well, but I think you kind of had to take him there, or you're not going to have a third quarterback. You just then have to take Rodgers. So this was King's team. Getting Rodgers and kind of pushing him turned out well for him, because I think if I'd missed on those guys, I think I would have just taken Rodgers in the 14th round, because it just gets too thin after that. And 2 is okay, but again, kind of the same thing. Me, 2 and Penix, and me that is again not very live in 20-round format. But the other thing with 20 round is, sometimes in regular, we're still not going to see a Browns quarterback taken. We're still not going to see like the Cousins and the Penixes taken. In 20 round, pretty much all those guys are getting taken. Yeah, I'm going to take Sean Tucker. I know he's kind of just a touchdown guy at this point, but he could hit my lineup, just give me a floor a couple times. It's a fine 6th running back. I think you could make the Kalen Black call. You can make the, there's a couple other names down here. Malik Davis, I think, has some value still. Najee has value still. A handful of others. Who am I missing? Justice Hill, Ollie Gordon. But it thins out. Like, I'm not big on Damon Claiborne. I think he's a longer term project for them. Even if Aaron Jones goes down, I don't know if he's really seen the field much as a rookie. He needs to drastically work on his pass blocking ability and pass catching ability. So receiver wise, I think there's a lot of intriguing value here late. Chris Brazell, Keenan Allen. I haven't taken him much. I don't think I've taken him at all post draft. I actually like Malik Washington more in this format. Still question what his role ends up being for the Dolphins, but I don't care if he only has a couple touchdowns. an underdog, if he has 2 or 3 touchdowns, even if he has got 500 yards, there's not a ton of fantasy points there. Here, though, he could just, probably not 100-yard games, but have a couple, like 6 to 8 catch games, 6 catches, 70 yards. Hey, that's 10 points. Or more than 10 points. That's 13 points. So, do you make a stack on DK? Any advantage or disadvantages? I personally don't. I think like what I don't mind doing, and obviously didn't do it here, is like quarterback, receiver, and tight end. I like doing it, and I did it with like running back and tight end on both my top 2 quarterbacks. I like doing it at different positions. I like that kind of stacking more on underdog as well. But it's just in a weekly basis, it's really tough. There are a few exceptions, obviously, but especially at various cost, for even somebody like the Bengals or the Rams. Usually, even if they both have really good games like Puka and Adams, because you're paying such a high price, it's tough for them all to pay off. Same with the Bengals, especially with the quarterback being drafted so high. But if it's at different positional points, like for instance, Dallas, like Lamb and Pickens, that's a lot of investment. Like they can both have a great year, but usually you're kind of betting on one of them. And I like it more like taking one of them and taking Jake Ferguson. Like your chance of Ferguson being a value and one of those receivers being the value is much better than both those receivers being the value, just because of the positional differences. Some teams are different than others, of course, but that's generally how I'm more apt to like double stack is by different positions than top 2 receivers. I do think it can work some for particularly some of the teams that are very condensed with 2 guys, but it's not a priority for me. So let me make this pick. Surratt goes DM. I was hoping to push him through. There's so many guys late. Like a DK is super late, and I know he goes later now on UD as well. Jalen Noel, super late. These Miami guys, Skylar Bell. I don't mind taking Kayshon Boutte, even if he's not in New England. I think he's somewhere. I will take him just because there's an off chance he's still in New England and I have the stack. And if he moves on, it's probably better. So I'm at 3,682. I feel like I have an extra position. Could go tight end, but I don't think so. I think I'm going running back or receiver. As we see, like if you do want to take that like Cousins with Mendoza or Penix with Tua, it is still generally live in the 20th round. Definitely in the 19th round. But just something to keep in mind. I think Naj is fine here. Not really liking much else in the backfield department. LaQuint Allen. But I think I will go Mitchell. Yeah, just want to make sure I got it. Jets added a lot, but at 20th round, Adonai Mitchell, he can be a spike week guy. So I think he's fine this late. I think Keon Coleman is also fine this late. A couple of these other guys, Keenan Allen, I think is still in play. These Tennessee Giants guys, Baltimore, you can make some various shots. I'm not going to make too many on them. Even Thornton, right now, he's got a shot to be the number 3. So I think there's enough depth at wide receiver that I'm going to just take shots. Brandon Thompson is one I definitely want more and more of. Not that I'm going to have like 20% Brandon Thompson, but give me like 4% of them. Ty Felton is intriguing with Minnesota not really adding anyone. Jack Besh, kind of same thing. These could have some interesting year two opportunities. Jalen Lane, less so, but John Dotson, he goes way too late in this format. Kyle Williams is basically you're betting Kayshon Boutte's not there. It's Kyle Williams. So no, I think there's some fun late clicks, especially if you're doing 9 wide receivers. So I will go over teams in this draft. Sweetleaf is first. I'll look at my team, and then I'll look at, I think it was Jeremy, King QC, Jeremy, and Spunky as the YouTube members. Sweetleaf wraps up here, and he goes 3-6-8-3. He had a Gibbs start with 3 receivers, then tacking on another running back. So like that core of receivers, Pickens, Nico, and Devonta Adams. So my team, I'll read it how DraftKings does it. I know it's different how we typically read it, but quote-unquote starters of Drake May, Kenneth Walker, Kyron Williams, CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Travis Kelce, Travion Henderson in the flex, a bench of Mahomes, Daniel Jones at quarterback, receivers, Ricky Pearsall, Steph Diggs, Denzel Boston, Malik Washington, Kayshon Boutte, and A.D. Mitchell. Running back depth of Rashard White, Emmett Johnson, and Sean Tucker, and just a second tight end in Hunter Henry. Let's go to I think this was King QC's team. Jaden Daniels, Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Terry McLaurin, so I got the stack, Kyle Lemon, Jacoby Myers, Colson Loveland, Josh Jacobs, Brock Purdy. Josh Jacobs is the flex. So very strong, heavy running back team. Kind of took McLaurin as like the wide receiver anchor. And tight end, Colson Loveland, so more of an elite tight end, but one of the few that I think have that like 100-yard game upside, probably a couple times. Other quarterbacks, he's got Brock Purdy and Aaron Rodgers. Other running backs, he's got Tyron Tracy and Taj Spears. Tight end, he has Chig and Dulcich to go along with Loveland. But receivers, so he waited at receiver, but he kind of loaded up here in this mid-tier. Pittman, Concepcion, I think are really good clicks. Jeremy Bernard, Christian Kirk, Elijah Surratt, Shamari DK. Most people would say it's thinner, but I think he's playing it. Josh Jacobs is going to be hitting the flex quite a bit. I kind of like it. The new meta in the NFL is more running, so I think even in full point PPR, we should be leaning into that a bit. And I like those top 3 backs here. You can get a ton of points, a lot of passing points also from McCaffrey and Chase Brown in particular. And stacked up well with Daniels and McLaurin and Chig, and of course Purdy and McCaffrey and Kirk. And Rodgers with Pittman and Bernard. Let's see. Next was the Icon, Jeremy's team. He's 3-6-8-3. Burrow, Travis Etienne, Dobbins, Justin Jefferson, Neighbors, T. Higgins, Tyler Warren, Kyle Pitts in the flex. I'm, probably not your typical flex, but very strong 2 tight ends there. Bench of Dart, Murray to go along with Burrow, so very strong quarterback room. running backs, throwing some more volume at it, but taking some guys I like, Aaron Jones, Kamara, like these guys with the pass catching upside. Manuel Wilson, probably less of that there, but an insurance plan. Probably you're going to need the receivers to really hit the flex, but you started so strong with Jefferson, Neighbors, and T. Higgins, so those three should be your guys. Your other receivers are Juwan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, Darnell Mooney, Malachi Fields, and Yoshivas. So very, very nice build there. With like three elites, the double elite tight ends. You also had you had a third tight end. Oh, likely, yeah. So very strong at tight end. I personally don't go that heavy at tight end on this format. Just like I said, I feel the points are a little less, but I mean, I like Warren and Pitts. Normally, I'm probably just stopping there too at that point. And I think, was it just Spunky was the last Fanspeak member. 3773, Caleb, Cook, A-Chain, Tedero McMillan, Mbuka, Roma Dunze, Tyler Kraft, Tony Pollard in the flex, Jordan Love, and Shedeur Sanders. Not really. I'm personally not too high in Shedeur Sanders. Like I said, it's not even like, even if he ends up as a starter, he doesn't have rushing upside. I don't think there's a ton of 300-yard bonus. So I know I think it was you, Spunky, who asked the question about getting third quarterback. Yeah, that's why I push it earlier, just because I feel the quarterbacks like Shedeur, I think really are a tough case. Like him and Watson, I think in general, obviously don't have a lot of value in fantasy this year, and I think even more so in this format. Tight ends to go along with Kraft, you have Helm and who did I miss? Juwan Johnson. So yeah, I think that's a very strong tight end room. Running backs, right now you have Pollard in the flex, but you also have Woody Marks, Brian Robinson Jr., and Kamani Vidal. I think Naj, that's right, you went 7. That's a very strong tight end room. Receiver-wise, to go along with your 3 of McMillan and Buka and Adunze, Shaheed I think is a good pick. Travis Hunter, I'm a little bit more worried on after the draft than not adding a corner. Is a bit concerning to me, and then Cedric Tillman. So personally, I think I would have gone an 8th receiver here. I think it gets a little thin. I love your 3 starters, and I think Shaheed's a good 4, or Downs is 4, Shaheed's 5. I knew I was missing somebody. So I think your top 5 are fine, but then Hunter and Tillman I don't know if they offer a lot. So I probably would have thrown a 5th tight end, or a 8th receiver at the position. Let me catch up on chat, and then we can get into another draft. I saw PPR Tyler remark how the Field General logo looks an awful lot like Big Board logo, and how it was likely slated to be pre-draft Superflex contest that got pulled. I buy it. Maybe. Yeah. No, it could have been. I mean, they did do his pre-draft Superflex years ago, like 3 years ago. So maybe they're considering it again. I think that is, to me, that's more of a misnomer. Do you worry about Kellen Moore offenses not throwing much to running backs historically for Etienne and Kamara? I just don't think one. I recall last year looking at the data of this. I can't remember it exactly, but some of it was with obviously with Dallas. Chargers for a year. Eckler got hurt that year, missed like 6 weeks or something like that, if I remember correctly. And then, with Philly, Saquon was just running the ball so well. His pass catching numbers were okay, but they just didn't have to throw the ball to him that much because he was just running it so well. I think, to me, that's overblown. is how I imagine it. I'd have to really go back and look at the numbers, but I recall looking at it briefly last year and thinking it was a lot of noise, not a lot of like actionable data. And then even last year, it's like Kamara gets hurt, Kendrick Miller got hurt, Neal got hurt. I mean, they're running Audric Estime at the end of the year. Like, they're definitely not throwing the ball to him. Yeah, reasonable stacks by ADP. Yeah, so sorry, I know that question was from a while ago. I think I generally answered that. Like, I think, to me, as long as it makes sense, like I want it to pay off. And that's why sometimes for the higher value ones, I'm not necessarily doubling up. Even if you can get Lamb and Pickens or Puka and Adams, have I done it some? Sure. Chase and Higgins, but it's so much capital invested that if I'm taking a first round Chase or a first round Lamb, I need them to meet and exceed their expectations. And then that makes it tougher for that second guy to do as well, is kind of the way I look at it. Game type, were you in the draft? Sorry. Having 5 players, if it's mixed out, if it's ASB, Goff, ASB, Laporta, Tesla, Pacheco, like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Detroit with 4th place strength schedule should be primo. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Detroit is, we just seen it. Like, even when Ben Johnson leaves, and they weren't even happy with their offense last year, and they were still top 5 offense. Purdy, CMC, Evans could be week 17 winner. Yeah, good to see it up here in Warehouse. Yeah, I think Purdy is still being undervalued. We saw what he did at the close last year. Imagine if he can stay healthy. Now adds Evans, even more weapons. Like, for a while there, even early on, like, Purdy was throwing to, not much because people were missing time. And same at the end. Like, now they just have so much more from weapon department, even particularly when Kittle can get healthy. Out of the teams everyone thinks are drawing dead to be good offenses, who do you think has the best shot of being good? Well, no, like, I don't think people think the Raiders are going to be good. So, I don't know how far out you want to extend it. Teams like the Raiders, Titans, and Saints, who were kind of bad last year, but started to pick up at the end of the year. I think those are 3 offenses that could be on the rise. Raiders, new coach, new offensive line. Not much in the weapons department, just mainly Jalen Naylor, but need Bowers to stay healthy another year, Chenti, so they got 2 elite weapons. And then the quarterback play, it's not just a rookie. You have Kirk Cousins there as well. That just increases your floor level quite a bit. Titans, I think, second year for Ward, they really add weapons, also get healthier with Ridley. Their offensive line still a question mark, but I think Brian Dable's an upgrade as well. And then, the Saints, like, they, again, add weapons and offensive line. But the big thing is just second year for Shuck. He only played half a year last year, got better as the season wore on. Kellen Moore, I think, is good. But yeah, the weapons are now way improved with adding a healthier Kamara, but Travis Etienne and Jordan Tyson in particular. I just think they're going to be in a good spot. Of the 3 teams you mentioned, if I had to pick one, that's tough. I don't know. I'll say the Jets, though I don't like it. The Jets, I think, are the best combo of offensive line, quarterback. I think, sadly, I think Geno's the best quarterback of those 3 teams. And the weapons are good. A little bit more questionable than definitely the Cards, but I think the offensive line has the edge. The quarterback probably has the edge. The question is the offensive system. we're going by that. I like the Cardinals. LaFleur coming from, McVay, Shanahan, pretty good track record. Every year we're so wrong about multiple teams. Investing in one of those overachieving stacks seems like key to this stuff. No, I mean, I think if you can be right, I think a team that people are down on, this, talk about them, it's not just a bit, is the Steelers. Like, why, I've said this before, like, why do 2 Browns generally go before a single Steeler? Somebody explain that to me. Like, it's just we're talking DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman, Pat Frymuth, 2 running backs that we have reasonably feel good about. I can understand the Judkins thing, but Fannin, no way, no how should be going even before them drafting receivers, but definitely now. Why couldn't Emmett land in Minnesota? Would have been fun. We got JT in here. Good to see you. Claiborne is so bad, but not a landing spot. Have to consider. I don't know if it's a great lane because you've Jones and Mason. And Mason doesn't do any passing game work really, but there are 2 running backs in front of him. And I know Jones has a long injury history, of course, but honestly, I think there still would have been better landing spots for running backs out there. And that's why, like, Katron Allen, similar late round pick, just could honestly, just about anyone there would have had a shot to, I think has a legitimate shot for fantasy relevance. This is another backup role that would have been more open, though I don't think Claiborne would have been a fit there, but Malik Davis over Jaden Blue. Malik Davis earned it last year. He got hurt. Jaden Blue and Maffa had a fun week 18, but that's about it. I think Malik Davis could be kind of like the lead guy again. Jeremy Stain wasn't his favorite draft. Appreciate all the emojis. Let's catch up. 3 quarterbacks by around 12, 13. Yeah. Like the stream chat. Which tab on DK are you drafting? Is it the 20 milli NFL DB tab? Not sure what you're asking there. Which tab on DK are you drafting? Sorry, JT, what were you asking there? And it could very well be me, like, not making sense right now. Hope everyone is having a great day. Good to see you, Cade. Bukowski, afternoon, Steve. It's the most fragile running back room in the league outside of Washington. Yeah, it is. And no, I agree. Like, I would have liked just about any running back, there for sure. But I think there are a couple. So it's the most fragile for a potential number 1 spot. There are other teams like, say, Dallas, whose number 2 is wide open. Raiders, like, that's why people like Mike Washington, because the number 2 is wide open. Is it a valuable role or not? We'll have to see. I think there were, a handful of other teams. Like, I'd also actually put Carolina in the fragile side of things. Just Jonathan Brooks literally is fragile, and Chuba Hubbard is, might have, the ship might have sailed on that. On that great story. How do I get in the DK draft? What tournament is it? This was the 20 mil tournament. So yeah, I'm going to be entering another one. I'm going to go back to the lobby. We'll get into it and go to Best Ball. Can. So $25 tournament, 20 mil in prize money. I enter it from a second screen and I will count it down here. All right, I'm going to enter in 10 seconds. Earn in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. So still a few spots. So JT, if you can get in, hopefully that was you were able to see how I did that. Let me know if you have any questions. All right, we are filled. OMG Godlikes in here. Looks like we did get JT in the 7th spot. I'm in the 5th spot, and Spunky is in the 8th, and King QC is in the 10th. Let me know if anyone else got in here. Appreciate everyone for joining. How's this team? DK, Allen, Bryce, Etienne, Monangai, Gainwell, C-Rod, Algier, Manuel, Vidal, D. Ricardo, St. Brown, Adams, Tyson, Michael Wilson, Dubs, Moody, Fields, Lane, Fan, and Sadiq. Good to see you, OMG Godlike. Was this, just curious, was this pre-draft or was this post-draft? Just because I was taking D. Ricardo some pre-draft, but now with Emma Johnson, I just think I'm kind of out on. I mean, overall, I think it's a excuse me. I think, it's kind of like an anchor running back with a lot of solid number twos, some with the big passing role like Gainwell. Monangai and C-Rod are just going to, do what they do, and kind of same with Algier. But I think it's deep enough at running back, deep enough at receiver. Really like the receivers. Top, 5, I think, are very strong. 2 tight end. I'm just not as high on Fannin, particularly at his cost. I think him and Sadiq's, my only concern with it is him and Sadiq's cost are, I think, just kind of wrong. Can it still pay off? Sure. If they hit their ceiling outcome, yeah. But I worry about that, particularly in just 2 tight end build. Because it's just relying on 2 bad offenses also. So I'm going to take CMC here. I think JSN is great as also. I do think, like on Underdog, JT is my number 4. I haven't, done my rankings yet, but JT will probably be more like my 6 or 7 here. But honestly, the first round is pretty. I want all of them. I'm not fading anyone in the first round or have some crazy stand. Like these are all alphas, both running backs and receivers. Yes, someone in here is winning 3 mil. Absolutely, that'd be amazing. And hopefully it's one of the ones in the chat. Right, coming to the end of the first round. No real surprises. And I'm sure as we get more into the offseason, rumors and injuries, and maybe we'll get some more shakeup in the first round. I'm actually just getting more and more on just pulling Jefferson up. I've questioned him, questioned him last year, and not obviously didn't question him enough. Like I had him ranked 7th or 8th last year. I should have had him ranked, 28th or 38th. But I'm a believer again. I just think Kevin O'Connell is too good of a coach. I don't think he's going to be hamstrung at the quarterback position again this year. Because even if Kyler goes down, they have Carson Wentz, which Justin Jefferson was actually really good with Carson Wentz last year. It's just that was just a 5-game sample. So Josh Allen pulled up to 16. He does go higher in this. I probably won't have as much Josh Allen as I should have. Just because, as we saw last time, like you can get, I can't remember what his actual ADP is, but it's obviously much higher than these other guys. So, speaking of running backs who catch the ball a lot, let's take A-Chain, double, anchor, pass catching running back. I mean, these are two guys who could have 90 catches. That's a lot of points. And I think it helps him, just because I do think scoring opportunities could be a little bit more thinner this year for him. I think the passing volume continues to keep him an elite piece on full point PPR. He could. He does have more pass blocking ability. It's just how quickly can Emma Johnson pick it up is kind of the thing. Oh, I did like 8 drafts a day. This 4 draft promo came out, wasn't opted in. That is tough. Do you have a lot of St. Brown Genty teams? I've only done a couple DraftKings teams so far, and pre-draft I only did like 50 teams, so I would have to look at where I'm at there. Let me make this pick. I do have some worries about Neighbor's injury, but the upside is tough to ignore. Particularly in full point PPR, where he could really rack up the catches. Genty 19, A-Chain 20, what the fuck, yeah. I mean, sometimes you get those falls back, particularly when Allen got pulled there. Like people say, DraftKings can be a wild place. Second round Josh Allen doesn't look great to me. I think Allen 28 to 30. Yeah, no, I kind of agree. If Allen was going where he's going on an underdog, I'd have a lot more. He does obviously have plenty of 300-yard upside. Hasn't had it as much these last 2 years, but now he's got a new quarterback again, and Joe Brady fully having the reins of the offense. I wouldn't be surprised if they open it up a bit more. I wouldn't be surprised if they're less conservative than Sean McDermott. So let's see here. Coming into the 4th round. I got my 2 elite backs, but I also will, take some more. Honestly, we've seen the last 2 years, just even in full point PPR, running backs and receiver scores are getting closer. Last year especially. So yeah, I do think it's not surprising to see all these running backs. I mean, look at the second round just filled with running backs. Even the first round, 5 in the first round. It seems like a lot for a full point PPR, but it makes sense. I'm definitely not a 0 RB guy. I think like some anchor builds are fine. Particularly if you're targeting those Gainwells, Rashard Whites, those kind of guys in the mid rounds. But 0 RB I think is even tough on DraftKings. More doable, but tough. let me pull receiver here. Devontae Adams, Neighbors, Adams, McCaffrey, A-Chain. That's pretty good. Is Best Ball overlay only for underdog? I believe so. I didn't even look, but I'm pretty sure yet it's only for underdog. How you do or maybe more advanced rate type stuff for an actual winnings. Well, so in terms of advanced rate, like in last year, I had a bad DK year. I think I only advanced like 15%. Underdog was like 20%. Maybe 16%. Like the last 2 weeks, my advance rate just plummeted. It was because a lot of guys who got injured, including like Devontae Adams, that was more in the playoffs. He got hurt week 13, but that definitely didn't help. But the Scataboos, the Crafts, some key quarterbacks who were still out, really hurt my advance rate. But in the 2 previous years, I was about 30% or more on both. Let's go McLaurin here. So now Underdog has more tournaments that advance like 3 to 12 or better. So, that kind of plays into it some. I'd have to really look at it from an expected advance rate standpoint. In terms of, up until this past year, I had, for my level, I had more like finals appearances on DraftKings than Underdog. But then this past year, I had, 0 DraftKings, 2 more Underdog. So that kind of tweaked that, pushed that to that direction. So I don't know, like some years it seems like, because generally I'm in on the same players, like I do value their ADPs. So sometimes some major differences, I'll be much higher on one site versus the other. But usually I'm thinking about the same kind of guys, focused on the same kind of guys with some exceptions. So last year was probably the biggest, starkest difference in my performance between the two. And I didn't really go back and look at was there like one particular factor or anything like that. So coming up here, and then I'll go to the board. It's kind of oh boy, if he'd stayed healthy last year, I would have been making a lot of money on all the sites. As I mentioned when going through the tournaments, I do think generally ROI is better on DraftKings just because you're getting more money just for making playoffs, and because I had been having such a previously high good advance rate, and then even pushing teams through semifinals was pretty good. You do another May team. It's just not an area I love at receiver or running back. And to me, May is just a fall there. I think May and Lamar should essentially be going back to back on both sites. And I think you can make a real case it's May over Lamar. But having the gap between the two feels pretty good. Lamar going at 43 and me getting May at 68. That's two rounds. That's a pretty big gap. Like, if you want to say Daniels or Williams is better, sure. But honestly, this 2-round gap between and Burrow, a little pull up there, particularly when you have Josh Allen. But the 2-round gap, I think, is pretty valuable for like Burrow and Lamar versus these quarterbacks. Scatterboo bust? I don't think so. I think he's in line for a big year. Loveland fell to 56. It's the lowest I've seen him go. Yeah, I mean, generally I'm lower in elite tight end in this format, but Loveland is him and Bowers are my exceptions. Warren's kind of an in-between. Same with Kraft. But yeah, I like Loveland a lot. All right, coming up here. Pierce goes. I am going to go DK Metcalf. And we'll go back to the board. Yeah, it's a little high in Laporta for me as well. I know in general tight ends are pushed up a bit more, but I don't know. Like, I just have a tougher time taking tight ends this high in a format that doesn't reward touchdowns as much. Like, yes, it's the same points, but because you're getting more points in other ways, touchdowns make up a lower piece of the pie. Got made 88 last draft. Yeah, I took him in the last draft as in also, and I don't know what it was, but yeah, it's the same range, and it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I think these quarterbacks in the 80s is great, but look at what he did last year, and there's so many games where they just stopped playing in the fourth quarter. Like, they were so far ahead. That is not likely to be the case this year. They have a much tougher schedule. He's going to have more weapons. We will go Rico here to get a third running back that I feel pretty good about. And if Stafford comes back with Adams, makes a lot of sense. Nice little fall on him. Not fully expecting it though. All right. I do like T-Law, but didn't have a stack going. This is a big quarterback range. Stafford, Nix, Purdy, Murray, in this like end of the 8th, early 9th round. If you haven't gotten your first one, I think you kind of better at that point. And I think it's also a great spot for the second quarterback. Because again, I like Monangai and I like Dobbins, but they're not going to be as involved in the passing game. So they kind of take a bit of a hit to me. These receivers are fine, but they're kind of a dime a dozen roughly. So Purdy goes and Kyler goes. Stafford still could be there. He is not. Might need a pivot. Yeah, let's do Wandale. He's a guy who could really rack up catches. I already had Pittman. I would have considered him over Wandale. I took Pierce on the last one. But yeah, now I have 5 receivers I feel really good about. Quarterback's going to be a little thinner. I do want to get 3, obviously. But didn't feel like I needed to go Bo Nix there. So let's see. Godlike is at 1440 through 9. I'm at 135. JT is at 1341. Spunky 2241. King QC 2341. And he just took Gainwell for his 10th rounder, who I like quite a bit. Let's get a second quarterback. We'll go Shuck here. We'll stay on this screen until we make our next pick. All right. Definitely still need a tight end. Running back, I got 3 guys I feel good about. I think this definitely is going to have to be a 6 or RB team. You've seen some falls at receiver here. Pittman and Downs and Golden, I think, should all generally be off the board here. I might go tight end. Depending on what gets back to me. Running back, you can take your Vikings back. I don't mind Brooks here, Jonathan Brooks, but receiver value just feels too strong right here because I think Worthy is undervalued. So we'll see. Downs does just go, though. That was who I was hoping for. Pittman goes. Golden or Worthy. It's probably my lean right now. Yeah, I think I just go Worthy. I mentioned it before. I just think he goes too low. He needs to stay healthy. There's no question about that. But I think people are a little too down on Xavier Worthy. I think people treat Xavier Worthy and Xavier Legette as the same, and they are, to me, not. Like, Worthy has shown that he deserves to be out on the NFL field. He can make big plays. He just needs to not have his tight end take him out. And, and then not have his quarterback go down at the end. So I just think there's enough upside there. All right, let's go to the board, and then we'll get back to some chat. Willis goes. A few dart stacks. Are you mixing in Fields or any other Giants wide receiver at the end. So, I mean, for me, dart stacks, the back, if I don't have neighbors, I'm definitely looking at likely, for sure as a mix in. But then, like, in terms of like the late round clicks, I think I'm still Mooney over like Fields. Slayton, I think definitely not Calvin Austin. I think these other three are going to kind of just mix in, kind of give the edge to Mooney. But honestly, I think it could be any of them. Malachi Fields, I just think as a rookie, he'll get a couple opportunities. But it's just like a red zone hunter, like touchdown hunter. Probably won't get a ton of total volume. Best case is he's Tesla, right? Where he has 26 targets and 6 are touchdowns. And I'm on the clock, and we will take Darnold. I should have paid more attention, but I need a third quarterback, so that works. I was going to wait for Aaron Rodgers, but it is what it is. This is one interesting thing about DraftKings is you see more, and you can very easily tell when they turn on the plane. Geiger's here already autoing in the 13th round. You generally see that a lot more. And you see it in slows also. It's not just fast where you see it. It's a tight end. Go Strange, Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson's obviously a stack, so I think I'll lean there. Henry's a stack also, but I had him last one, and we'll see. Maybe he gets back to me. But yeah, Jackson Dart is not one that I feel like I have to stack up. I like the likely side of the stack for sure, because I feel confident in that, but receiver-wise, also Mooney with it. Maybe a few other darts, but that's about it. How about Jalen Hyatt? Yeah, don't think he's probably long for the team. All right, so we're entering the 14th round. Naylor goes. This is a good general range for receivers. Guys, like not Ayuk, but Naylor, Diggs, McMillan, Tony Williams usually goes a little later, but like Debo, a couple others. Trey Tucker's coming up. I think it's a pretty strong receiver range. Sometimes Jennings is still there. All right, so coming up in a couple picks. Shaheed goes. Hunter Henry's still there. Could go to tight end again. I think I will. I think I need extra picks. Maybe at running back this time. I mean, if a third tight end makes sense, hits value later, I'm okay with it. But my running back room, I got 3 starters, but not much else beyond that. Receivers, I think I'm pretty strong. I mean, when Worthy's your 6th receiver, I think you're doing pretty well. So I'm going to probably take a running back here. Definitely not my favorite options, but I'll see what I can make work. Potentially, if I get a 7th receiver here, I'd be willing to stop. see. I will take Algier if he's there. He's not. Didn't think so. Well, I think I might go seventh row wide receiver here and just be done. Throw some real volume at running back. So Boston goes, but I wanted Samuel anyways. I think this turns into a very, very strong wide receiver room if he lands anywhere semi-decent. We'll see at the very end. Maybe I just tack on an eighth receiver, but this, I might need to go 8 running backs. I got 3 that I can count on, and then not much else. I'm just gonna probably be throwing volume where I can and doing the best possible to fill out this team. Tight end, again, another position I could tack on somebody, but I'm fine with Henry and Juwan Johnson. Let's go back to the draft board. Only 8 players at your lineup anyways. Who cares after round 12? Yeah, and I mean, I do think that's why I like having a third back that I feel really good about. So, A, Rico could hit my flex probably more than a few times, but B, I have 2. I should, most weeks, we'll see how buys shake out. Most weeks I should have 2 backs that I feel good about. Huckleberry back from his meeting. Well, we are still drafting. Coming up here into the 16th round of the second draft. And I definitely need some running backs. So we are going to go. We'll put Katron Allen here. I think he, again, has a path to real work. Don't mind. I honestly don't. I mean, I'm lower on Emmanuel Wilson, but any one of these other backs I'm fine on. But Katron was the one who, could just give me a bit more. Tight end. If I were to go tight end, Otner, Helm, Fryermuth, all very, very good. Receiver-wise, these are guys I can get later. I mean, I could take Cooper Kupp to go with Darnold, but not going to be a big worry. And then Tua is still out there. Tua does seem to fall here later than UD. I guess Tua relative, like Aaron Rodgers still goes kind of late on UD. So 2 finally goes. I think I am looking running back here. I think I'm going to go. I don't have the current handcuffed. I will go Tank Bigsby. Wow, that is interesting. Hartman saying Russell Wilson confirmed he has an offer from the Jets. That is one thing, like with the whole Geno stuff. Like right now, I've had this debate with Meg. Right now, there's not another quarterback on the roster that you feel could take Geno's spot if he's struggling or if there's coaching change. If they sign Russell Wilson, I do think that math changes a little bit. I mean, yeah, I mean, Hartman can joke, but is that legit? Like, because it would be funny, Gino, backed up Russ, and now Russ backing up Gino. So I'm not sure if that is a joke or not, but that is quite interesting if that is the case. Giants could be the worst team of all time. It's a legit update. He said he's mulling that or going to TV. Appreciate that, Hartman. Never know with Hartman, and I appreciate his humor quite a lot, but just want to make sure. Let's go Kalen Black here. I have McCaffrey. Let's get potentially one of his two handcuffs. We're going depth running back here. At least 7. So I feel like I can do that more so. Yeah. Ollie Gordon. I was basically deciding between which handcuff running back, Kalen Black or Ollie Gordon. So that was a good pick by Geiger's Auto. All right, coming up here. Running back got a little bit more picked over. Let me just take Najee. If I do end up going to Nathan running back, there's not much left. But Najee gives me at least some upside. So my last pick could end up a receiver or tight end. Oh, thank you, Brooklyn Bum. Thanks for drafting. Appreciate that. I didn't think you were, just the way you said it. Had it come up in like the debate or something, like then I kind of can expect the Hartman troll, which again I love. But just if it had been any other situation, like if you said Russ was going to Arizona, I just didn't know if you were trolling the whole Geno and Russ juxtaposition. New York Jets with Geno has some Brissett Arizona garbage time appeal, but let's see what we have in Klubnik. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Cade Klubnik, I can never pronounce his name right, is kind of like on that cusp, like 4th rounder, coming off a bad year at Clemson, but he'd shown some previous upside earlier in his college career. Could they turn to him very late? Possibly. It's not like Carson Beck feels way more because it's the first pick in the 3rd round or the second pick in the 3rd round, whatever it was. So it just feels way riskier. And especially with Brissett holding out, does not feel great. But yeah, I'm still going to take Geno a fair amount for more of what you said, not a fair amount, but 6 to 8%. Just to what you said, like there is some potential for it to get fun. We'll take my guy Surratt. I still want to be ahead of the field. I mentioned this yesterday on my stream. Matt Harmon's very bullish on Surratt. Listened to his number 1 day 3 receiver and was shocked that he went day 3. And he tied in the fact that he thinks Surratt can play inside, and that's something that Eric DaCosta mentioned, that they like Surratt's ability inside. So that's very intriguing, particularly Declan Doyle coming from the Ben Johnson offense. Like slot receiver plays quite well there. So, it's just somebody I believe in the talent, believe in the ability to get on the field. I could see him and Lamar really getting on the same page pretty quickly. So yeah, we'll see. I still want to be ahead of market on him. So I end up 3-7-8-2. Drake May, McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin, Juwan Johnson, DK Metcalf in the flex. My other quarterbacks are Shuck and Sam Darnold. My other running backs are Rico Dowdle, and then a bit of a gap. Katron Allen, Tank Bigsby, Kalen Black, Najee Harris. So potentially none of those guys are valuable. And this turns into a 3 running back team, but hopefully 1 or 2 of those guys find a role. My other receivers outside of my 4, including my flex Metcalf, Wandale, Xavier Worthy, Debo Samuel, and then I tacked on Elijah Surratt at the end. And then finally, my second tight end is Hunter Henry. So in this draft, I appreciate Brooklyn and Oh My God for drafting with us. Brooklyn went 3-5-9-3, Bijan, AJ Brown, Nico, Scadaboo, that's our guy. Godlike, Gibbs, Hampton, so double running back in Hampton, coming back 23. Some of these running back prices feel good. Really, really good, to be honest. And then Zay and Burden. And we talked about this earlier, these types of receivers who maybe don't have the biggest touchdown upside, but on DraftKings can just play more because they're still very apt to get a 100-yard bonus and just rack up catches. But I will do reviews for our Fanspeak members. I think that's JT, Spunky, and King here at Tough MC. So let me do those reviews now. But I appreciate everyone for drafting. Of course, everyone for liking, commenting, subbing. We appreciate all the support. So I think JT here, he goes 4-6-7-3. So Jaden Daniels, James Cook, Chase Brown, George Pickens, Mike Evans, Rome Dunze, tight end George Kittle, flex Ramondre Stevenson. His other quarterbacks are Joe Flacco, Marcus Mariota, and Carson Beck. So he went late round quarterback, did get the Washington room, which is fine, good. Actually, I think a fine option. Flacco and Beck, 2 guys who Flacco due to Burrow's injuries, and we know what he can do there. And then, of course, Carson Beck, as we just said, late in the year, he could very well be starting. I do think you run the risk that you might not have anyone for the Washington bye week, but hopefully that doesn't sink you, particularly if the Washington bye week's early. Now, if it's late, maybe Carson Beck's playing by then. Running backs, in addition to Cook, Chase Brown, Stevenson, you add in Kamara, Dylan Sampson, and Emma Johnson. So I think 3 pass catching volume upside running backs. So I like how that running back room turned out with the 2 elites. Ramondre, I think, is a good price and a reasonable flex option. And then 3 others with some passing upside. Receiver wise, in addition to your starting 3, Lemon, Shakir, these 2 guys I talked about at the top of the show, guys who I think have more value on this than other sites. Shaheed, I just think is priced wrong. Florida, I think, is really priced wrong in this on DraftKings. He just seems to go generally too late. Then at tight end, in addition to Kittle, Andrews, and Okonkwo, so stack there, and I think Andrews is a great value. Next, where's Spunky's team? 3-6-9-2. So Caleb, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Amon-Ra, Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Colson Loveland, Ricky Pearsall in the flex. I think that's a very strong start. In addition, at quarterback, adding Goff, who I love, Cam Ward, so very strong quarterback room with this 3-man group. Running backs, in addition to the Walker and Pollard, Dobbins, Aaron Jones, kind of in that mid-tier, Brian Robinson Jr., and Justice Hill. thins out at the end, but kind of like one anchor, one starter, but in the more middle rounds than the two mid-tier backs who kind of balance each other. Like Dobbins probably more the early down, Jones more the passing down, and then Brian Robinson, Justice Hill, potentially two backups to top end guys. Receivers beyond the first four: Jalen McMillan, Calvin Ridley, Kayshon Boutte, and Darnell Mooney. So and Pat Bryant. So threw some volume at it. Your top four are really good. I think McMillan's a fine fifth option. Then you kind of weighted some a little bit. Calvin Ridley, I think, can be fine. Mooney can be fine. I mean, they're all guys who I think can give you a couple usable weeks for sure. So I think as long as the top four stay healthy, that's a very strong group. Pearsall, I think, is undervalued. DJ Moore, definitely undervalued in my book. And of course, ASB is about as good as it gets. Tight end, Loveland, and just threw one more at it, Brenton Strange. Very strong tight end room. Final team is King QC's team. 3-7-8-2. Herbert, Swift, Jalen Warren, Justin Jefferson, Devonta Smith, Ladd McConkey, Brock Bowers, Christian Watson. That's a lot of receiver firepower here. Running back is a little thinner with Warren being your number two and not like a clear follow-up right behind him, but that's why he threw 7 at it, obviously. The other quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Aaron Rodgers, so I think very strong quarterback department. Other running backs, Kent Gainwell, Jonathan Brooks, I think those are two good picks. Spears is another one I talked about before. Mike Washington Jr., it's an upside swing for sure, but could be the number two. And we mentioned it also, Malik Davis probably should be considered more the lead option for the Cowboys number two role. Other tight end with Bowers was Gadsden, which is also stacked up, easily able to stop there at 2. And then the other receivers after your top 4, you waited, taking Bernard, Kupp, Franklin, and Trey Harris. I like that. I think these guys are all undervalued. Kupp, Franklin, Trey Harris. I don't know why they go so late. I really don't. Bernard also. I think he easily, Bernard and Kupp should be easily the slot guys. I think Franklin, could have the lead on the number 3 role. And Trey Harris, I just still am not a big believer in QJ in this offense. So where you're getting Trey Harris, I think, is such a value in this format. That's everyone who's in the drafts. Thank you so much for this. I'm gonna catch up in chat, and we will get out of here in a couple minutes. But thank you all so much. I got a running back for you. Somebody you drafted. Just see. Oh, you took Adam Randall at the end. I think Justice Hill, depending on the injury, because he's coming back from a neck injury, I think it was. I think Justice Hill's probably in the lead. I think Rashad Ali also has a chance. My thing with Adam Randall is he's more a project player. He's converted wide receiver, and unlike Brashard Smith and Tyron Tracy, who are also former converted wide receivers to running backs, Adam Randall isn't as ready. He's not as good of a runner, and he's not even the greatest pass catcher. Has a lot of drops. So I do think they drafted him. They like him. He's going to have a chance to compete for the role. And in 20 round, I don't hate the upside swing, but I think he's more like sophomore year type guy. These DK drafts are longer than 2 UD ones. Yeah. Once Quinn Ewers threw past the NFL, I began to think anything is possible. I mean, the craziest thing last year was Brady Cook. Brady Cook had no business throwing an NFL pass last season. Just give Brissett a t-shirt that says starter and a coupon for unlimited concession food. Sarat Steve, what's your view bags of Lane? So like pre-draft, I had about 4 to 6% Lane. I haven't really taken him post-draft. I know he went higher in the draft, but I think he's a young guy. He's 20. I think he just turned like 21. I think he's just more raw. And if Sarat is moving inside, he's got inside-outside versatility that Lane simply doesn't have. Bateman doesn't have. Devontae Walker doesn't have. So Sarat has more ability to me to see the field. Lane is competing, I think, directly with Bateman and Walker for like a vertical X role. And Sarat can be in that mix a bit as well. Like if Sarat really wins it, like him and Zay have a chance to be the 2 wide receiver sets guys, right? Like he could be the X, Zay the Z. When they go 3 wide, one of those 2 could go in the slot. Do I think it's more likely one of Bateman, Walker, Lane ends up winning the X? Yeah, probably. But, I don't know which one it's going to be. So right now, I don't really have a lot of Lane. Definitely, I don't want to be 0. And, I just think that is something I want to keep in mind with camp reports and of that nature, like who's out there running those routes, because that could be a valuable, fan, like Spike Week. I don't think it's going to be week in, week out type thing. King QC was in the 10th spot. Aiden Matt, just confirmed by Liam Cohen, Travis Hunter will play both sides and nothing has changed. My point to Meg the other night is I still believe he plays both sides, but if it's only like 10 snaps a game, that's not great. I want him to consolidate to, and it could be your average, number 3 wide receiver role, because I think he's got more talent than just about any number 3 wide receiver out there. It's just, I worry he's still mixed in too much. So I still want some Travis Hunter. I just think he should fall a little bit. I just don't think so. I think if anything happened to Henry, I think Rashawn Ali becomes the direct backup. Adam Randall is just not a great runner right now. He's big, but you don't see that physicality play out enough, and he just doesn't have good vision. But he'll have camp to figure it out, and maybe we've seen some guys, Monanga at this time. I Meg will talk about last year the draft swap was around my birthday, and I talked to her right afterwards, and I went out for my birthday, and so I missed the last couple rounds, and she was telling me some of the late picks, and I said, oh, that's interesting about Monanga to the Bears, just because I knew the opportunity. I knew he had a path to be the David Montgomery. So sometimes these guys, late round guys, can just make it all come together. Randall to me is a bit more of a project, but after Henry, it's a pretty wide open running back room. Long term for Randall, I think it becomes much more interesting. Or the Ravens trade for an alpha, say Elikai Manor. Yeah, what could be. No, but thank you guys so much for drafting with me, doing this. Like I said, most times we'll do DK on Tuesdays, but wanted to get it started this year, especially with all the promos they're doing. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and I'll be back tomorrow night with Meg for Sibling Showdown. I will catch you then, and good luck in your drafts. Definitely the wrong button there. And we will get out of here right now. I think Huheems goes on at 5. So definitely check him out. And of course, there's other great shows later tonight. Catch you later.